You're listening to the South Valley Beat, brought to you by the newsroom at the Bakersfield Californian. I'm your host, Jennifer Baldwin. Today we take you to the Bakersfield College Stadium, where endangered foxes are being trapped and collared for research. We also bring you the story of a Vietnam veteran who was one of the many American paratroopers, glidermen, and air assault troops honored each year on National Airborne Day. And did you know a sexual revolution is taking place in women's living rooms? We take you to a passion party, a modern version of the Tupperware parties of yesteryear, but with new kinds of toys. San Joaquin KitFoxes once lived up and down the valley, but as farms and cities took over their habitat, the species dwindled to endangered status. Now, researchers from Cal State Stanislaus are tracking the animals that have made their homes in urban Bakersfield. Californian reporter Shelley Bronco tagged along with them on a recent night as they set traps to collar young pups.
That's the sound of a nervous San Joaquin kitfox. Biologists with the Endangered Species Recovery Program trapped the small pup at Bakersfield College. They're tracking the behavior of these endangered nocturnal animals. Researchers say kitfoxes used to live throughout the San Joaquin Valley, as far north as Contra Costa County. But humans disturbed the foxes' habitat as they farmed and built cities. Now, most kitfoxes live in Kern and San Luis Obispo counties. About 400 to 600 kitfoxes live in Bakersfield. Samantha Bremner Harrison is studying different behaviors in Bakersfield's urban and rural kitfoxes. Her project is part of a program through Cal State Stanislaus. She wants to find out whether shy or bold kitfoxes survive better. Researchers say that could help determine which personalities thrive in a region exploding with development.
They coexist with people quite well in that they can exploit any small open area that does exist. But a lot of people never actually see them.
And they do eat human food.
They will eat anything they can get, really. Hot dogs seem to be a big favourite. Up here at the BC Stadium, we know that they like to come out and clean up after a football game. They'll eat any trash that they can find.
3 adult foxes and 5 pups live in dens at the college stadium. The researchers secure the traps on the stadium slopes. They place heavy cloths over the cages to mimic the darkness of a burrow. They bait the traps with sausages. Do they get scared? What's their reaction when they go inside these traps?
It really varies, but to be honest, they tend to just go in. They have bait inside them, so they eat the bait. They'll crouch down once they're in there, and they tend to just sit and wait it out. Once they've been trapped, maybe once or twice, we actually have foxes that will go into a trap, we'll let it out, we'll do our handling that we do, it will go straight into another trap. So they seem to learn pretty fast that it's a free meal and nothing too nasty or scary is ever going to happen. So
the researchers return a few hours later to check the traps in the dark. They find nothing in the eastern traps. They head to traps on the west side of the stadium. They find one pup crouching in a cage. He's about the size of a small cat, with big ears and a pointy nose. He stares at the scientists with wide eyes. So can you describe for me what you're doing?
We get the fox into a bag to do the handling, because it kind of keeps them contained in there and we can keep their eyes covered. And they're generally calmer if they're handled that way.
And it's making a low barking sound, and what does that mean?
It's kind of like their sort of warning bark, just, when something unusual is happening to them, they'll make this little low frequency sort of call, just kind of, they'll do it sometimes when the pups are there, they'll give that little call just to let the pups know, come back to them, or when they're in a trap, they'll sometimes do that. It's just like a little warning.
Bremner Harrison weighs the bag and places it on a blanket. The fox squirms as she feels around the bag. Got a bit of a struggle. Looks like you're kneading a ball of dough.
Yeah.
She's just looking for his head, basically, to
find the important end with the teeth.
Bremner Harrison opens the bag but keeps the pup wrapped in the cloth so he remains still. Then she places a radio collar on him. The researchers will use these collars to track the pups throughout the year. The adults already have their collars. She pries open the pup's mouth with a wooden stick to check his teeth. Then she loosens the bag and lets him run away. He turns around a few times to stare at the researchers before returning to his den. The Endangered Species Recovery Program studies how to conserve biodiversity in Central California. San Joaquin KitFoxes are considered endangered because more than 95% of their habitat is now farmland or urban developments. The California Living Museum in Bakersfield houses native animals and cares for injured KitFoxes. The zoo's program supervisor, Lana Fain, says 2 of their KitFoxes have only 3 legs. One lost his leg in an accident, and the other was shot and poisoned.
And the thing that we always get people remarking about is the fact that they see them all over the place. Well, I see those all over the place. What do you mean they're endangered? And that's the great thing for us here in the valley, is that this is where they are. This is the only place in the United States where they are. So perhaps that we think they're abundant here, they're not found anywhere else. So we're very, very fortunate to be able to have them around us, and they definitely are endangered.
Since the night out with the researchers, they have caught and collared 2 more pups at the college stadium. The scientists will continue to trap until they find all of the KitFox pups. The project is funded through September next year, but Bremner Harrison hopes to continue studying several generations of the KitFoxes to learn about reproduction rates and where each personality type lives. She says that's especially relevant because as Bakersfield expands, habitats change. Her research, for example, could help with the design of artificial dens suitable for both shy and bold KitFoxes. The more people learn about KitFoxes, the more they can help with their survival. For the South Valley Beat, I'm Shelley Bronco.